In the spring of 1963, while I was pursuing employment with the County of Ventura, I had the opportunity to attend a homeowners association meeting in the Meadows. The issue under discussion was the alignment of the Canal Creek Freeway at that time. And one of the people that was expressing some opinions and playing a role in that was a relative newcomer to the community, Alex Fiore. I knew at that meeting that he was destined for greatness. And in reading the newspaper, that's good. That didn't require an applause, that's okay. And in reading the accounts in the local newspapers over the last few weeks, I was right. He is great. The papers and the accolades and the acknowledgments, richly deserved, warmly given, honestly bestowed upon a man who has given over 30 years of his time, effort, and energy to the betterment of our community. We are assuming today that this is his, first of all, last, and secondly, official State of the City address. We'll see. Anyhow, it's with a great deal of pleasure that I introduce to you for the annual State of the City message, His Honor the Mayor, Alex Fiore. Alex?
I want to thank Consigliere Rubenstein for introducing me, and I'd like to welcome you all to this 30th anniversary of the Thousand Oaks region and section of the Costa Nostra. And the first report I would love to give or like to give in that regard is one of disappointment. We worked very hard the last couple of years to get Thousand Oaks to go from first place to third place, the safest city in the country. We lost some ground this year. They're back in second place. And I want to apologize for that. But seriously, that news was so encouraging this morning. If you did read the newspaper, we are back in second place. We're still behind the city of Amherst, but I believe the city of Amherst is composed of, I think, it's 104,000 nuns or something like that. I think you wouldn't expect too much crime there. But on the state of the city, I would like to say that I've accomplished absolutely nothing in the last 6 months. The state of the city is great financially, and thank you very much. Okay. I'd like to thank you today, and I'd like to digress from the usual state of the city speech and share with you some personal thoughts about our wonderful city. In the 30 years since incorporation, major changes have taken place in Thousand Oaks. Changes, I might add, which have affected and enhanced every aspect of life in the Conejo Valley. In 1964, the Thousand Oaks population was about 20,000, and they inhabited about 14 square miles, a rather small city. Today, more than 110,000 people live in the area, encompassing nearly 55 square miles. In 1964, Thousand Oaks consisted of about 8,500 dwellings. Today, nearly 40,000 dwellings are within the city boundaries. In 1964, the city maintained 175 miles of streets and landscaping which were, I might add, in 64 in dire straits. Today, our street landscape and maintenance crews are responsible for 375 miles of streets and roads and highways and doing an excellent job in maintaining them. In the 1965-66 fiscal year, which was the first fiscal year of the city, the total assessed value of Thousand Oaks and all its properties and buildings was a mere $169 million. That figure today has grown to be the largest in Ventura County and is more than $9 billion an extraordinary growth of 5,000%. Upon incorporation, Thousand Oaks had 50 acres of designated open space. I am proud to say that as a result of careful planning and our commitment to maintaining the city's beautiful environment, we now have more than 12,000 acres of permanent natural open space. Back then in '64, our local business community consisted of less than 1,000 area businesses. In 1994, Thousand Oaks contains more than 10,000 area retail, commercial, corporate, and industrial entities. And this is a very interesting item. Of those 10,000, approximately one-third are based in the home. And that's very interesting, that to have that much business activity in the home and not have that many problems. We've had very few problems with people complaining about business activities in the residential area. Thousand Oaks also boasts of being the location for a number of regional and national corporate headquarters. We're looking for one more to occupy a certain parcel of ground. We hope we get them pretty soon. 30 years ago, our Recreation and Park District operated a single 1.5-acre park, and I believe that's the one off Erbs Road, and conducted programs at the 27-acre Caneo Community Park, which was then owned by the County of Ventura. Today, the Caneo Recreation and Park District operates 33 developed parks totaling 394 acres. In our commitment to providing recreational opportunities for our citizens, the city has done its part by acquiring the Los Robles Golf Course and building a senior adult center and a teen center. In 1964, our residents relied on the county to provide them with library services. Today, area citizens have the use of 2 excellent libraries built by the city. I believe we spend something like $4.5 to $5 million a year for library services, which perhaps is as much as the county in total spends for all of the cities in the county. 30 years ago, Thousand Oaks received its police services from Ventura County, from the Sheriff's Department. Today, we have what we consider our own police department and own half of the East Valley Sheriff Station. In 1964, cultural activities consisted of concerts, dances, and recitals held at the Caneo Community Center or in a gymnasium. Today, our residents can enjoy performances ranging from community theater and youth recitals to professional Broadway productions and contemporary entertainment at the Civic Arts Plaza. Another thing I might add, in 1964, when we first incorporated, the per capita attorney ratio in town was very small. And it has grown rather dramatically in the last 30 years. And I wonder if all of you or any of you know that California is first in the nation in the number of attorneys per capita. New Jersey is first in the nation in the number of toxic dumps. But the reason for that is they had first choice. Always love to pick on attorneys. Things have definitely changed in our city. In my opinion, the key to our outstanding growth and its success is the city's sound financial viability. Our current financial holdings include a golf course worth at least $7.2 million, which will be paid off soon. The bonds for both the Hill Canyon Treatment Plant and our portion of the East Valley Sheriff Station will also be paid off in the near future. Soon we will pay back 100% of the Interfund Civic Arts Plaza loan upon the sale of 401 Hillcrest and other properties. In other words, we will pay back in cash the total Interfund loan for the Civic Arts Plaza. The new City Hall and Forum Theater will then be free and clear of any debt. While the city has these long-term debts which will soon be paid off, this does not mean that we are not a pay-as-you-go city. Being a pay-as-you-go city means we are not going into debt by borrowing money for operating funds. Debt is only undertaken when necessary for capital projects which will endure long in the immediate year. That is the only debt that this city has had in its 30 years. We have had 30 years of balanced operating budgets, and in my judgment, there is no way the City Council should do otherwise in the future because we are in a solid financial condition. What I do see for Thousand Oaks in the next 10 years, or what do I see? What new challenges will face our City Council, and what kind of achievements are possible? The Los Robles Golf Course is an excellent facility, especially from a financial standpoint. I like to call it a cash cow. Yet we are burdening it due to overplay, and we shouldn't do that. A lot of you are aware of the fact that there are some 110 to 120,000 rounds of golf a year played at Los Robles. And while that's good from a financial point of view and does create a cash cow, by the same token, it does quite a lot of damage to the golf course. The Los Robles course is an excellent facility, especially from that standpoint. We are grossly deficient in the number of golf courses available to our citizens. Thousand Oaks has very large senior and student populations who love to play golf and will pay for it. These are facilities that definitely will pay for themselves without any burden on the general fund or any other fund of the city. The city owns land which shows extraordinary possibilities as a potential golf course. I'm speaking in particular of Hill Canyon and a portion of the Broome Ranch. In my opinion, the city should jump on these opportunities, fund them, and move forward. Building these two golf courses is entirely logical from an environmental standpoint, from an archaeological standpoint, and from an accessibility standpoint. Plus, their presence will serve to enhance surrounding neighborhoods, contrary to the belief of some people. Newbury Park must not be shortchanged. It is the only part of the city that doesn't have a golf course. Central Thousand Oaks has two courses. The Westlake area of the community has two courses as well. Newbury Park has 0. In addition, I believe we need to develop more recreational facilities in this area, which contains almost a third of our population. A golf course in Hill Canyon will be extremely beneficial to that particular area, since it would allow for the preservation of archaeological sites and open space. Saving these pristine natural lands for generations to come has long been a priority of the city. The provision of a Hill Canyon golf course, as well as a variety of other recreational services, which, as I said before, will pay for themselves, will also help pay for the maintenance of open space, area trails, and other outdoor opportunities which can be enjoyed by all. Moving to another subject, in the next few months, the city will be faced with decisions regarding the development of the private side of the Civic Arts Plaza. The city needs to push forward with this and make sure that we have a super high-quality development on that site, something which is extremely complementary to the outstanding facility that now graces and blesses our community. With regards to the continued success of the Civic Arts Plaza, the Alliance for the Arts and its endowment fund are poised and need to make major contributions to its operations. I am confident that this will happen. The endowment is put together by means of pledges, which means you don't have all the cash in hand at the front end, but you will receive over a period of time, and usually in this instance with the Alliance over a 4 or 5 year period, the funds to complete the endowment. We're fortunate that the endowment fund currently has more than $1.5 million in the bank, with the balance to be received during the next few years. And it's my understanding from the latest reports that I have heard that they are just about at $10 million as I speak in pledges. And so they'll be complimented for that. As we all know, the endowment fund recently was substantially elevated by the generous $2 million donation pledge from Mr. Charles E. Probst. And on behalf of the community, I'd like to thank him for his support and apologize for the negative comments that a few in our community made regarding this generous act. His gift and those of so many others are part of a program approved many years ago. In fact, the naming opportunities for various elements of the Civic Arts Plaza was set in motion by the Alliance for the Arts more than 7 years ago. Thus, we now have the Charles E. Probst Center for the Performing Arts, the Los Angeles Times Plaza, the Jantz Steps, and many other areas of the Civic Arts Plaza named as a result of endowment contributions. As a matter of fact, several major naming opportunities are still available, including the Forum Theater for a $1 million donation. Would anybody like to step up to the plate for that one? The generous financial commitments of the more than 500 endowment fund donors is cause for gratitude and not grumbling. Another challenge facing our City Council is the development of Thousand Oaks Boulevard Master Plan. This area is of significant importance to our city's fiscal strength and our cultural life, our transportation needs, and our viability as a community. I look forward to the work that is being undertaken by Councilmember Judy Lazar and numerous citizens to develop a consensus on the boulevard's physical future. In the near future, I believe the city should develop a transportation center on Thousand Oaks Boulevard. While such a center will benefit all our residents, it will be of particular value to those living and working in the immediate area. The city's future will also be enhanced by good relationships with the county. During the past 4 years, we have made great strides towards these goals. Our outgoing supervisor, Maria Van der Kolk, deserves sincere thanks, and I wish her the very best. And would you join me in a round of applause for the fine job that she's done in her 4 years? I am optimistic that we can continue to forge a strong working relationship with Ventura County, particularly in light of the fact that our county supervisor-elect, Frank Schillo, as I understand it, unless he changes his mind, has chosen to locate his offices right in our Civic Arts Plaza. And I think that will be a benefit to all of us. As most of you know, Thousand Oaks as a city is looked upon by the region and the state as a leader in innovative policies and programs and successful operations. This high regard has been earned and is a stewardship which must be maintained. To continue to operate successfully, I think it is essential that the City Council work together as a unit, leaving issues at the table and during deliberations, and this is particularly important, I wish I had thought about it before today, choosing words carefully so as not to offend, divide, and destroy. Also, grandstanding and free ride votes are not conducive to creating an atmosphere where all can agree to disagree, and yet remain allies in the strongest sense that together we work for the betterment of our community. To disagree is not evil, yet the personal attacks of the past must not continue. And as I said, that is very sage advice coming from one who wishes he had thought about it last week or the week before or 30 years ago. Communications is very important. And words have meanings, and there should be sensitivity and compassion in what we say to one another. It reminds me of the story about Helen and her brother Bob. Helen had a prized cat that she loved very dearly. And she was going on a 2-week vacation and asked her brother Bob if he would stop by the house each day to look in on the cat. And one day she called and she said, "Bob, how's the cat?" And he says, "The cat's dead." And she sobbed and she says, "Bob, that's terrible." She says, you shouldn't be so insensitive as to give me that all at one time." She said, "You should have perhaps come on slowly and said the cat was on the roof. And then maybe the next day I called, you could have said, we called the fire department to rescue the cat, and the cat fell off the roof and injured itself. And then the next time I called, you could have said, the cat could not overcome the injuries, and he's dead." She said, "So please don't be so insensitive. By the way, how is Mom?" He paused for a moment and says, "Mom is on the roof." To serve as city council member is a weighty charge, a charge to represent the entire community and make decisions which will improve it. Each day of the past 30 years, I have tried to do so. Upon taking the helm as mayor, I personally set 7 objectives for my short term. Thanks to the hard work of the council and our excellent city staff, 3 of these have been completed with the remainder underway. A local purchasing resolution has been unanimously approved by council. Our council chamber seat dedication program has been reestablished, and greater support for the small business community has been enhanced. Policy resolutions in several key areas are in draft form at this time for the new council's review. A Thousand Oaks Information Directory is nearly finished, and a City Hall Information Services volunteer program utilizing RSVP volunteers is due to begin after the first of the year. In looking ahead, I would encourage the new City Council to formally establish a community, neighborhood, and business watch, a city watch type of program. Briefly, other city achievements during my term include the adoption of several home ownership assistance programs, certification of the Dos Vientos supplemental EIR, and approval of the Rasnick project. Repairs have begun on the Thousand Oaks Library roof, finally. We probably will be moving out of that facility so as to expedite the completion of that project in a shorter time frame and more efficient cost figures. To assist our local small businesses, the use of freestanding monument directory signs was approved. Recognizing the plight of seniors living on a fixed income, the council approved and extended the mobile home rent stabilization ordinance. A mental health crisis unit has taken up residence at the Thousand Oaks Police Department. Serious discussion has occurred regarding the development of Point Mugu Airport, with the city joining a joint powers authority to help realize this necessity. A vital and respected board of governors has been created for the Civic Arts Plaza Theaters program. And of course, we have seen the fulfillment of a 20-year-old dream, the grand opening of the Civic Arts Plaza. You didn't think I'd forget that one, did you? That was one of my main goals at the time, that we would finish on budget, on schedule, and that the grand opening would be a success, and indeed it has been. At this time, I'd like to take a moment to personally thank the Chamber of Commerce for their continuing commitment to Thousand Oaks, its citizens, and its businesses. Since its inception in 1965 with Rex Fairless as chairman of the board, the Chamber has been a strong supporter of the city, its elected officials, and the city staff. Over the years, I feel a strong partnership has developed between us. Since we are both interested in one thing, a quality city dedicated to the success of its businesses and as well, and the quality of life of its residents as well, to Denny, Steve, and the other chamber members here today, I say thank you for a job well done over the years. I might add that we, over the years, have had our disagreements, but we have left those at the table. In closing, I'd like to take a brief look into the future and share my personal predictions for what our city will be like in the year 2064. I don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Incidentally, these projections are in the time capsule at the Civic Arts Plaza. By the year 2064, the city will have achieved its 100th straight balanced budget. Right, Grant? I doubt whether Grant will still be here at that time. And I would suspect that looking at this audience that none of you will be here to prove me wrong. The Civic Arts Plaza will have achieved the reputation of the finest performing arts center between Los Angeles and San Francisco. True to its founding fathers' commitment, the Arts Center will not only have paid for itself, but will have contributed to the city's general fund. The endowment fund for the Civic Arts Plaza will have grown to $50 million. The gas engine is now extinct. Remember when the year 2064? Electric cars will traverse our streets and highways. New technology has provided for batteries with a life of 8 days. In the trunk, a spare battery will be kept charged by the moving wheels of the vehicle itself and be easily replaced by man, woman, or child. Bicycles will be used in large numbers for local travel. Thousand Oaks will have survived an 8.3 magnitude earthquake at the San Andreas Fault. We were practicing last night, some of you may know, with less damage recorded than the great 6.8 earthquake of 1994. This will be mainly due to new technology building materials and, this is my wild idea, thousands of homes that will be redone as far as their foundations are concerned, that will have a foundation with kind of a floating movement to it that will not disrupt the whole building. Naysayers continue to come to City Hall, complaining that the auditorium should have been larger and should have been complemented by a large hotel. What were those dummies thinking about back there in the 1980s? The city will be built out with less density than allowed or calculated or envisioned by the general plan. The total population will be 131,500 as of October 7th, 2064, and you can bet on that. Contrary to many predictions, back in the 20th century, we did not become another San Fernando Valley, but have remained one of the most desirous places to live in California. Our permanent open space has grown to 17,016 acres. The 16 acres being the beautifully landscaped corner of Westlake Boulevard and Canaan Road by the Probst family. I sincerely want to thank each and every one of you who have supported me over these years for that support. I leave the council with mixed emotions. It's hard to, as difficult it is to stop eating peanuts and pretzels and potato chips, it's awfully difficult to leave something that you've enjoyed for 30 years. But I'm passing the baton now and hope that those who receive that baton, and I feel very confident that they will not drop that baton. I would like to thank all of the members of our great staff for the support that they've given me over the years. And this city would not be what it is without this excellent staff. And I'm going from the custodian all the way down to the city manager. And I'd like all of the city staff that's here today to please stand up and let's acknowledge them. All the city staff. And last but not least, my family and my lovely wife, Katie of 49 years. If you only knew that she is the lady behind the scenes and keeps me on the straight and narrow. Don't think I answer all those phone calls because I really look forward to it. She keeps pushing me to make sure that I do my job, and she has done that faithfully for 30 years and still managed to raise a beautiful family. So I thank her with all my heart and soul. It's been a pleasure to serve you as a council person for the last 30 years and as mayor several times. And thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you. Yes, you did all that without crying. I think the rest of us did as well. Certainly, the name Fiore will go down in the history of this community along with Borchard, Newberry, Russell, Cameron. I didn't say that. And on behalf of the Conejo Valley Chamber of Commerce, who certainly recognized your accomplishments over the past 30 years, we have for you a Fiore moment. And we put them all together for you, Mayor. And thank you. And for Katie, you deserve certainly more than this, but we have a lovely bouquet of flowers for you. And with that, we thank you all for coming. Enjoy the day.